So number 5 for me is Zay Flowers, who, I mean, great film. No surprise there. Zay Flowers, to me, it was like watching Elijah Moore at Ole Miss all over again. It really felt like the same exact player, same exact size, same exact usage, just so electric off the line of scrimmage. I wrote lightning quick in his routes and with the ball in his hands. I wrote down very hard player for DBs to mirror. I mean, with the footwork, with the shoulder work, his body is very well in sync. His feet and his shoulders and his hips are very synced up in his route cells. Mammoth year, finished 2022 with 78 catches, over 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, some drops. He had 9 drops, 9.9% drop rate. I mean, I don't think he has bad hands. I don't think he has great hands either. He's just another guy that's small. He's 5'10". He came in at Shrine at 182. So here's my question with Zay Flowers.
I think he's 5'9".
5'9". You're right. 5'9", 182. I don't understand, and this is no insult to anybody, but wouldn't you want to see Zay Flowers against all those solid corners that were in Mobile? It's a little part of the process that I have not been able to wrap my head around personally when I go back to Zay Flowers. This is a dude, when you watch the tape, and he's a top 5 wide receiver for me. I mean, despite being this small, he's just that electric of a player and the go-to of this offense. It's a confusing part of the process to me that I don't personally understand. And I think it really would have helped him. You go out there and I didn't think anybody was great at the Senior Bowl wide receiver. I thought a lot of people were good. I thought Michael Wilson was good. I thought Reed from Michigan State was good. There was plenty of guys that were good at the Senior Bowl. I think Zay Flowers could have been great. So that's one part of the equation. And that didn't factor into my grade. Let me make that very clear. I didn't make Zay Flowers 5 instead of 3 because he didn't go to the Senior Bowl. I don't care. I'm just saying I think it would have been an interesting opportunity against some pretty good corner talent because his tape is that good. It just goes back, and we keep having this conversation. We had it with Josh Downs. We have it with Tank Dell. Like, these guys are slot guys. I think Zay can play on the outside 20%, 25% because he's so fast.
Right.
I don't want him playing on the outside. So it's just, that's where the conversation constantly comes back to. But out of a class that is loaded with slot talent, just loaded with it, he's one of the best ones. And that's a pretty high-end compliment.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's number 4 for me. So this is an easy transition. He's 5 for you. He's 4 for me. I think that we see him exactly the same. Just lightning quickness, the separation ability because of how well he's able to put his foot in the ground and really change direction. I think was getting underreported, feel like, for a while now. I think that everybody's kind of like catching up to it, and they understand how good Zay Flowers is in this class. I still think he's a fringe first-round pick. I don't think it's a lock that Zay Flowers is a first-round pick. Feels like a top 50, top 60 for sure, but
I don't think he's a first-round pick.
Okay.
How many times does a guy that okay, this is where the combine can change. He has to run in the 4.3s to be a first-round pick, and I'm serious.
Yeah, probably.
I think he's a really good player. I
think he said he was going to run in the 4.3s. Obviously, everyone says he's going to run in the 4.3s. I think I'm going to run in the 4.3s, right?
I don't. I don't think I'm going to run.
Oh, I do. Just
to make that abundantly clear.
No, I do because I'm never going to have to prove it. I'm always going to say
that's very fair. No, so you can confidently say that.
Like, even if we ever went through, like, you and I did one of those fun like combine challenges, I would just say to myself, like, no. But you know that, like, if I laced it up in Indy, like, it'd be different.
It's the turf.
Right. I mean, yeah, the turf makes it a little bit faster, so it'd be a, I'd be a 4.3 guy for sure. No, I do see a lot of people put him in first round mocks though. We've had him in first round mocks, but I think that comes down to there is such a need every single year, desire, hunger, if you will, for teams wanting to get more dynamic with their passing weapons. And Zay Flowers is that. Does Zay Flowers go in the first round if he's in last year's draft class? No, absolutely not. But could in this year's class. You got the guys who are going to get to at the top, and then how many other teams are going to need wide receivers after those guys are off the board? Now, you mentioned how we normally get anywhere from low 30s to mid 30s wide receivers that come off the board every year. And that's just because there's so many teams that are desperate for a wide receiver. Now, we've heard reports that teams might be much more comfortable waiting until round 2 and round 3 to pick up wide receivers this year as opposed to other years. But I don't know. A little part of me is like, I'll believe it when I see it, just because I know this league wants dynamic guys. And like you said, of the slot players, even the shorter, smaller wide receivers that you have to choose from, Zay Flowers and Tank Dell, right?
Josh Downs.
Yeah, but Josh Downs isn't the athlete that.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want a slot guy who gives you better athleticism, how many guys are we talking about that are in that same category? And and maybe there are a handful of them as we get to our final wide receivers and we watch a little bit more of these guys and we go, okay, but that's kind of what I'm saying, is that if you're going to get a wide receiver, can't teach speed, right? Can't teach separation, can't teach that body control and the way that he's able to change direction on people. And because of it, he was a really good yards after the catch wide receiver, right? How many yards after the catch he had? Zay Flowers had 1,077 receiving yards this year, 503.
That's significant.
Anytime you're almost at 50% of your yards coming after the catch, that is really nice. That is a impressive percentage to be at. So we see Zay Flowers the same. I just had him at number 4. You had him at number 5, clearly because you have Jalen Hyatt higher. So he's bumping him up and he's bumping Zay Flowers down. But it really sounds like we see him in a similar category.
Absolutely. Really good football player. In a wide receiver class that I think has a lot of variance, I was pretty comfortable with who he is, where I would go, okay, I'm finally draft. What I mean by that is that I think there's plenty of bust potential in this class. And I don't see that with Zay Flowers outside of health.
Yeah, it
kind of takes me to number 4.
Well, I was about to say, I don't know about bust potential, more of just like maybe not being the impactful players that you want. But now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, I do think that you're kind of right. I think that you're right with the phrasing there.